Welcome everyone to Module 2, where we're going to talk about this concept around the North Star, something I use all the time for myself and for all the clients that I work with. One of the things I believe is that life gives you what you ask from it. And so I'm just curious, do you really know what it is you want? If you're watching this, I'm going to make an assumption that you're a high-performing individual, both personally and professionally, and I appreciate how hard it is to let go and realize this isn't about perfection. This is about surrendering. Being able to surrender, to try to understand what is it that's holding me back. Truly dig in. And I promise you, when you do that, you will unleash something that'll be just amazing. The way this is going to work is I'm going to give you questions, which will be prompts. Is you can either download the worksheets or you can do your own journaling. And just take your time. Personal matters because so much of what we run into and the reasons we don't take the steps we want to take is because something happened to us, somebody said something to us, or just some experience that took place that holds us back from believing we deserve or we're worthy of getting to this concept of a North Star. And you have to spend time unraveling what it is. And again, for some people, trauma took place. Other people, it could be a coach said something to you, told you you weren't worthy, you weren't good enough. And every time you go to take that leap to get closer to where your dreams and North Star are, that voice creeps in the back of your head and says, nope, I can't go there because so-and-so told me this or that. Or I had this experience and it was painful, so I'm not going to go down that road again. Even though you know full well that joy that you're going to get when you start heading towards that North Star. I want you to look at the prompts on the screen, pause your video, and really dive into your personal story. So we're going to start this by answering the question, where am I today in my personal life? It's really, really important to ask yourself, am I happy? Am I doing the things that I want to do that bring me joy? Am I there for the people that I care about and love? So dive into that. Ask yourself those questions. What are my strengths? What areas need improvement? And am I satisfied with my current situation? And why so? Because often we don't believe we deserve better. And I know deep down you all are on this for a reason. It's because you do believe you deserve better. So really answer that question honestly for yourself. And once you do, that'll help you start to move towards what this North Star is. We're going to move to the North Star, which is that dream future scenario you have in your head. I want you to really invest time, and remember, this is about your personal dreams and North Star. We'll get into professional later. So really hone in on what is it personally you have dreams about that you're looking forward to creating for yourself. And I'm going to ask you some very specific questions to help you get there, which you will see on the screen. The first question, what would I like to do more of in my personal life? Is it something you do really well already? Or it might be something you'd like to get better at? Maybe it's an entirely new skill. What would I like to do less of or stop doing altogether? What behaviors or habits do I want to leave behind? One of the things for you to think about is you're going to know you're in this place where you have your North Star when it feels scary. Yes, it'll feel scary. It's exciting, but it's not dangerous. You're going to have to dig into things personally that maybe you've never addressed, because the things that have happened to you that you hold dearly personally that you've never let go of has dramatic impact on how you lead and how you show up at work. And if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're running a business or you're leading sales, people can feel and sense that you're not authentically there all the time. So I would suggest to spend quality time really getting to the root of what is it that's going on personally that's impacted you, because it'll have a dramatic, not a little, a dramatic impact on your ability to lead others. If you don't know who you are, I just feel like if you don't know who you are when you show up at work, you're trying to figure out what other people want or need from you. And then you try to adapt to that. So you're constantly trying to fit in versus just being who you are. It's interesting. It's super hard for people to trust you if you don't trust yourself. And a lot of times leaders get very, very frustrated when they say, why don't people trust me? There's a reason they don't trust you. They can tell you don't trust yourself. So I think it's super important to make sure that you really, really know who you are deep down, and you're willing to share the fact that I don't have all the answers. And then people feel comfortable with you being authentic and they'll trust you. All right, I'm going to ask you very similar questions, but it's going to come from a professional point of view now. All right, question number 1. Where am I today in my professional life? I would pause the video and take some time to think about this. What's really important in this question is that you spend some time taking a look at what it is you're doing today and really saying, am I enjoying this? What aspects am I enjoying? What aspects I don't enjoy, before you jump to the North Star exercise. So just spend some time on that. Am I happy with what I'm doing? Do I like what I'm doing? Do I like the kinds of people I'm around? Do they match my values? Those kinds of questions you want to wrestle with through this exercise. A lot of people may find this a difficult exercise and say, I don't know, I can't even answer it. I think it's a lot easier to answer if you would just stop and think about every day, what is it that gets you joy when you go to work, and what are things that you dread? And just start piecing that together. I believe eventually you'll start to see patterns of behaviors that you really find that brings you joy and lifts you up, and others that do not. Now, let's take a look at the future from a professional standpoint. What would I like to do more of in my professional life? Is it something you do really well already, or is it something you'd like to get better at? Maybe it's even an entirely new skill. What would I like to do less of or stop doing altogether? Final question. What behaviors or habits do I want to leave behind? Often when I work with people on this idea of your professional North Star, they get hung up or they get afraid of saying it out loud and going after it because of potential loss of existing relationships and friendships, because not everyone's going to agree with you. I say if this is what you really want and this is what you believe in, there'll be a whole bunch of other people that'll come along the way that you'll build new connections to. Because I'm convinced that when you declare where you're going in life, people and opportunities just keep showing up. All right, job well done. Give yourself congratulations. This is the foundation for all the work we're going to do going forward. I would highly suggest that you take a break. However it is that you recover, take a walk, take a nap, spend time with others, but just take a break. and congratulate yourself for getting the hard work done. The next module we're going to dive into is around self-esteem and self-worth. And I'd be sure that you had a discussion with yourself throughout the first part of this. So I look forward to discussing that with you next. And again, take some time, relax, rest up. And I look forward to seeing you in the next module we're going to be doing.